I wanted to talk about my history with fruit-based meals. I've struggled a lot throughout the years on making something like raw till 4 more prominent. And I think I've said that in other videos, but the only times I've made it successful is a couple times. One when I was adding lots of calories into 2 big smoothie meals a day. That was just a way to keep me super full. And that makes sense because if you have enough calories, then you're eating enough food and you're not going to have any issues. But ever since I started this whole fruit first protocol where I start my day with juice, I've been moving on to watermelon, and then I'll have my grand nice cream for lunch. It's been beautiful this summer. I've been doing it. However, I'm about to go back into school season, and that starts next week. Watermelon's gonna be out, and it's not always practical. And to be honest, it doesn't always feel practical to do the fruit all the time, though I want to try and continue because it makes me feel good. But you have to go to the bathroom a lot more when you're that well hydrated. So I will acknowledge it's not always practical, especially if you're traveling. I have to be mindful to not have fruit meals when I'm traveling because then I have to stop in the car all the time, and I don't want to do that, which is, it sounds terrible because you want to stay hydrated all the time, but sometimes it's just easier to drive 3 hours straight without having to go to the bathroom. So anyways, that was just my tangent. What I really wanted was to see what some of you guys who successfully eat fruit year round all the time, even when it's cold out. Like I said, I've only ever made it successful with a couple big smoothie meals, or I would have to do a couple big smoothie bowl meals. But the fruit forward thing, it just seems like it's less effort because I'm just eating either juice or the whole fruit. And that's kind of nice. But what do I do when school starts, when I'm back at teaching and it's cold out and there's no more watermelon? So do I stick with the juice still? I think I will. I think I'll do juice first. And I can't think of what I want to use to replace watermelon. I think that's where things get sticky. So I was thinking apples might be good because I live in apple country, but apples aren't exactly, I don't know, they're harder to eat. They're harder to get a lot more in. Maybe they just find them less enjoyable. I don't really know. I always felt that same way about oranges too, unless they were the big juicy sumo oranges. They take a lot of work, and I just feel like I sound like I'm complaining. I'm complaining about something so stupid. So it's not watermelon. Maybe it'll be apples. Have you had success with apples? Have you done it with cooked apples or cooked fruit? Lunch, I think, will be simple. I just bring in my big container of smoothie. It's just going to be a smoothie instead of a smoothie bowl, which means less bulk from the carrots. But usually I don't notice that stuff when I'm really busy at school teaching stuff. So let me know. Let me know what your advice is, especially all of you people who have been very successful. Yes.